Alright guys, so I want to take a look real quick at this little, well, not very little, but somewhat little speaker. It's the D6 speaker. Now, the only problem I have with this, and it's not a big deal, is there's a tiny bit of like a hissing type sound that is coming out of this speaker, which I don't think you'll be able to pick up on camera, so it's not very loud. You probably won't notice it unless it's just a very, very quiet room and you're very close to the speaker. Other than that, you have 360 degrees of sound. It has sort of like a cloth type covering, and this is a gray color, so it looks really nice. It's 20 watts, so it's actually pretty powerful, and it comes with a 5200 milliamp battery. That's going to be nice because you have the portability aspect. So if you want to move this around, take it into the bathroom when you take a shower or something, where you normally might not have an actual Echo device already located, that's a nice option to have. Now, this thing is, I don't know exactly how long it takes to charge the battery because I keep it plugged in a lot, so it just stays charged a lot, but it's rated for runtime of about 8 hours when you're using it, to power your Echo Dot device. Now, it has an auxiliary mode, so if you want to use it just as a auxiliary speaker that's plugged in with a 3.5 auxiliary cable, you can do that. And if you do that, it's rated, well, it says it's rated for 37 hours. I would never use it for that long, so obviously I can't test that out for you. So I can't give you any information on that. There's a small button here on the front, and you can see there's a blue LED. If I push this and change it to auxiliary mode, that light will turn green, and it turns red when it's plugged in. Plugging it in is done here on the bottom. There's an auxiliary and micro USB, and then it has a location for each one so that it can sit flush. And then on the back here at the top, you have the lock, unlock, and all that deals with is when you twist this ring, it allows you to access your device. And there's a, well, it's been sitting, there's a plug here. I'm not going to unplug this, but it's micro USB, and it is your auxiliary 3.5, and it has a little bungee cable. And the reason I'm not going to unplug it is because it takes a while for the device, of course, to reboot. And then you lay this back on, I'm trying to look through the camera, and give it a twist, and it locks back in place, and then your device is there. So now I can't give you a great example with music because of the whole copyright issues and such, but Alexa, sing me a song.
Oh, Captain, take me with you, take me on a journey. Oh, Captain, I beseech you, take me across the open sea. Trim the sails and brave the gales, live for a hearty sea breeze.
Alexa, stop. So, it's very loud, and it actually has a pretty nice amount of bass. So if you're going to listen to music, or, even if you just want it to read, audible books or whatever usage you have for it, it's definitely going to be a lot louder than you would normally get from the actual device itself. I'll give you a real quick example of that also, and obviously it won't probably play the same song because when you ask for a different song, it kind of goes through different ones that she likes to sing for you. But other than that, it is a very nice, substantial unit as far as looks and feel quality wise, and I don't know, I think that it's a pretty nice unit to have overall. Very simple in its design, both in looks and function. Again, the LED, since I have given you an example, I'll go ahead and push this. So if I push that button, you see it turns to green for auxiliary mode, and then when it's plugged in, that turns red, sort of a pinkish red. If I push and hold, I can just turn it all the way off. So like I said, operation is extremely simple and easy. Not a very difficult thing at all to use, and connecting and disconnecting it very easy. This is what your little plug looks like, and it has this little springy type cable. So, but yeah, you have a nice little cloth covering, say 360 degree, 20 watts. It's pretty powerful, sounds really nice, and I'll give you an example right quick of what this sounds like without the actual unit, in case you haven't heard. Doesn't translate really well on camera, but maybe it'll give you some idea. Okay, we'll be right back with that. Okay, so here's your little comparison. Hopefully volume is at max. Alexa, sing me a song.
Oh, Captain, take me with you, take me on a journey. Oh, Captain, I beseech you, take me across the open sea. Trim the sails.
That was at maximum volume.
For a hearty sea breeze, winds full force, let's plot a course to find booty that we can seize.
Alexa, stop. So hopefully you can tell, even with that short little clip as an example, and it looks, I think it was the same song for both, which is not usually what happens, so that worked out really well. But yeah, there's a substantial difference when using this speaker. I believe there's a few different colors that may become available. I like this gray personally. So yeah, I think it's a really cool item, and maybe that would be something that, you know, you can give to someone or for yourself if you need the option to kind of move your device around. If you don't have a few of these around your home, then, you know, the portability aspect is great. And again, if you don't use it or want to use it for this purpose all the time, you do have the auxiliary option, so you could always use it in that regard and just plug in to the bottom and use it with other devices. But it's a great sounding device in contrast to the tiny little speaker that comes with the Echo Dot standard. Just as a side note, it does not fit the Eufy Genie units that are very similar to the Echo Dot. It doesn't really fit into this area and the ring and everything, so that would be, you know, a no-go as far as using it with other devices, most likely. The Eufy Genie is very similar in size to this, but shaped differently. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of what you might expect. Charge time, I believe, is rated for around 3.5 hours, but again, it just stays plugged up enough that it generally stays charged. So, and I would never run it for 8 hours or 37 hours in auxiliary mode, or, you know, the 8 hours in the dot mode personally, but it's just a nice feature to have that extra power on tap for hopefully a pretty long time. So we'll see how it plays out over time. The hissing, again, very, very subtle, but a little bit of a notice in a very, very quiet room if you're really close to it. Okay, that's pretty much it.